Pedro,
How are you?
good. Nice to see you here. Thanks for accepting the invitation, by the way. We've been working together for quite some time now, like a year, more than a year.
Quite some time, yeah.
And we're going to spend the next hour trying to understand where you come from, basically, why you decided to work on that project. Why did you become an entrepreneur? You moved from Tenerife to, I think, the UK, but you will tell me a little bit, then back to Madrid and back to Tenerife. And, so I'm trying to understand where it started. Is it that when you were 8 years old? Was it like when you were 12 years old, 15?
Yeah.
You did something from your parents? I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny because I got this same question from a newspaper, like maybe 6 weeks ago or something like that. And I just gave them like a already prepared answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then I kept thinking about it, and I was at home thinking like, where did it actually started? Because people usually say, okay, are your parents entrepreneurs? So they told you like that building companies was a good thing or something. And I didn't think so. And it wasn't that. And I started like looking inside my whole story. And I found the question actually, like the answer. I found the answer because I think I had like a little trauma with money when I was a little kid. Like my father has like a business. He sells plants basically. Right?
Plant, like flowers.
Yeah, flowers.
Right.
All sorts of.
In Tenerife.
In Tenerife, yeah. So I remember like being at dinner like almost daily, and as adults do sometimes, they were during the dinner time they were speaking about the problems. Like these plants arrived broken, these plants died, this client is not paying us, these employees like behaving badly, we have to fire somebody, the taxes. So it was all negative speaking, and maybe I was like 6, 7 years old maybe. So I thought we were like broke.
Were you?
Hmm?
Were you?
No. The situation was normal. Like my family was not rich, but it was like a normal business.
Yeah.
Like if you have a freelance, that's the way you make a living. And but I had like I wasn't very outspoken when I was a kid. I was very shy, but I used to listen carefully to my parents. Right.
You were a shy kid?
Shy, yeah.
You were shy?
Very shy.
It's funny to hear.
Very,
Okay.
very shy.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my dad is German and very cold person. So there was not a lot of communication in my household when I was growing up. So I remember having like being very worried as a kid about the financial situation at home. And I even remember when they used to give me like 10 euros, or even during the I think it was pesetas during that time because of your grades or something. I remember like waiting in bed until I feel like my parents are sleeping and go and put it back in my mother's wallet, right? So
no way.
Yeah. So and I remember like crying at bed, like really worried about the financial situation.
At 8? You were
6,
like 6, 7, 8?
Yeah, something like that. I was pretty worried because all I heard during dinner time was negative about my father's business, which was the only source of income at home, right?
Not so many children would put the money back, huh?
Yeah, but I was like actually worried.
Yeah.
Like I remember crying and thinking like, what's gonna happen with us? What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna live? And then something like a little light turned on inside my brain, and I started thinking like business-wise. Like I remember like being at school and maybe studying like the layers of a volcano or some bullshit like that, and asking the teacher, okay, but how can I make money with this? How can I make money? And
at 8 or at 12 now?
No.
Still same age. You were asking at same age how to make money out of the whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was obsessed with I don't want to feel this way. I want to find a solution. So I started also. I remember like as a very young kid, like walking in the streets and maybe watching like a little cafe, like a little bar with 4 tables and people sitting down with just one beer talking for 4 hours. And I remember thinking, okay, there's not a lot of rotation here. This is not a good business. And maybe you see an ice cream stand selling ice cream. And I say, okay, this is cheap to make because it's just milk with sugar and some flavors or whatever. and they are selling constantly. So this is a good business. This is not a good business. This has good margin. This doesn't have a good margin. Like in super basic business terms, but like I was all the time like trying to figure out like what like to have that instinct, like business instinct on. And yeah, then when I was maybe like 14, I remember like in fifth grade, in the like before high school, like I was I failed 7 subjects out of 11.
Nice.
But
Nice performance.
But I knew everything about the stock market. Like I was reading a lot by my side. Like when the internet arrived, I was very curious about the money, but I didn't really care about I don't know, the layers of a volcano, right? I was like, I don't really wanna know this, right? I think that's the very beginning there, right there.
And when did you start to really do something? After school, like after high school?
I like something serious. Yes, after. I mean, I was always trying to make.
So something not serious, was it? So if you say something serious, it means you think about like real business, but it means that you also done some stuff non-serious.
Yeah,
making money.
Yeah, some super little things, and I also tried. I remember when I was 18. I mean, I tried to build like a tech business, and I had some savings, and basically my idea was to build something like ASOS, like a marketplace with different brands where they can sell. Okay, but when you try to build it with 400 euros, it's a bit difficult, right?
Specifically back in the days, because now you are like some kind of Shopify technology to go fast, but you can't. Wait, so you really tried it? Like you spent a few weeks on it or whatever?
Yeah. A few months, maybe.
What was the name? You remember the name of it?
What was the name? Good question.
Hey.
I don't even know if I had a name. But I remember I hired an Indian guy in Upwork, like to do bullshit WordPress shit. Yeah. And then I ran out of money, and it was basically it.
But you spent a month on it, you said.
Yeah, I mean, I was
studying
at the same time, and when I arrived home, I had I wanted to reach out like small Instagram brands, like these little e-commerce brands that they were selling through their profiles, and put them all together in the same marketplace, which I think it was a good idea at that time, but you're like 17, 18 years old and no money, just an idea. But I always had many ideas.
You can launch something with no money, but when we say no money, is a little bit more than 400 euros.
Exactly.
Yeah. Specifically, if you're not the tech guy.
Exactly. And also in that age, like your first business, everything looks like super easy. And then you start and you say, this is so hard. This is so hard. Like you need the experience. Would be hard for me to do it right now after 13 years trying different businesses. I can imagine like in that age.
Yeah, plus now we've got very competitive and stuff.
Of course.
Building ASOS, and usually they don't really make profits or whatever. I'm not even sure it's a good business to go for, but to go to. All right, so you're 18. So your first business, then actually your first real business was La Pollería.
No, Ice and Dreams was called. It was like, actually it's the same concept as La Pollería, because it was...
without the pollas.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an ice cream shop.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, when I was living in London before that, and I used to work in Deliveroo.
Wait. When do you go to London?
Before moving to Madrid, because
you're 18.
I was 18 or 19.
You go to London for what?
I studied there for a bit, and then I stayed working. I worked as a promoter in a nightclub. I worked delivering food in Deliveroo. I worked in Abercrombie as a.
Are you there, Abercrombie? Yeah. All right, I'm not surprised.
And then I worked in a startup there as a sales commercial.
And all of that during 1 year or two?
Yeah, during 1 year.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I did many things. That's the period of my life when I actually woke up. Like I was not like a stupid kid, but you're comfortable. You live with your parents. It's
Yeah.
all normal. And then I say, okay, I wanna live by myself. I'm going to London, and I used to ask, especially my mom, because my dad was, okay, you can survive there, but my mom was pretty worried. Like, London is expensive. You have no money.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, please, I don't want no money. I want no help from you. If I have to sleep in the street, I will do it.
Yeah. So how did you, sorry. So you take the plane, cost 400 euros. You arrive to London. How much money do you have in your pockets?
None.
Is it like 10
Yeah,
euros?
I mean,
100 euros.
What I did, that's why I say that I woke up. Like, your instinct suddenly, like you become smart, not intelligent, but smart. So I spent all my savings in Tenerife before going to London, and I bought tobacco, because it's actually like 2.5 euros per package in Tenerife, and it's like 10 pounds in London.
But so you brought tobacco to London, which is not legal.
Well,
but how many packs?
As much as
like 100 packs.
As many as I could buy. No. Maybe like 14 packages.
14.
I don't know.
All right, so you made 30. I don't know, 14. 30 euro.
Yeah, but I thought I didn't have almost any savings, so I say, how can I make some excess with this money quickly? Tobacco.
Very interesting, because I've thought about that. I didn't have that life. Didn't have to go somewhere with 200 euros in the pocket, or even less. I don't know. I'm like always wonder, like, what the fuck do you do when you arrive to a country with which happens to many, first immigrant, that's it, or not what we call immigrant, but like just people traveling and just want to have a new life, right? What do you do? Like, where do you sleep the first night?
I mean, I went to like a little place. I rented it before going there. Like, it's like per week.
All right,
like
so like
a place per
30
week.
euros per week, like for student or something like that?
Yeah.
With many beds or stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. It was like a room with different people and shared bathroom for everybody,
Okay,
the cheapest, wackiest
I see.
thing, and having Indian naan for dinner for £1 every day.
Yeah, okay, I have been done that.
Yeah.
But you liked it or not? Not quite
Yeah.
good memories at the end of the day, no?
I mean, I had a love-hate relationship with London, and I never came back until like a couple months ago, and just to like rebuild that relationship with the city, because I used to. I mean, I remember loving the feeling of like you woke up, like you're a different person now. Yeah. You were comfortable, and now you're finding your way here, and you're finding jobs, you're doing things, you're doing okay.
Yeah,
and that makes you feel proud, because when you've done nothing by yourself and in life, or you don't feel that you could be independent, and suddenly you can pay for your things, and you can make a living without your parents or outside your house. If the feeling is you feel proud, right? But then also it was pretty hard. Like I remember like delivering food with Deliveroo, and all raining all fucking day long.
About London, no?
Always wet, cold. I didn't have gloves, and I remember my like grabbing the bags with my hands shaking, all wet. So it's hard. It's hard. But at the end of the day, I mean. So a love-hate relationship with that period.
So basically, you arrive, you have like enough to live 1 week or something like that, or to eat for. So you have 1 week to find a job. What do you do?
I mean, I went straight to buy like a SIM card there.
Yeah.
Then I went to the social security thing. I put the British number in my CV. I printed some CVs, and the second day I was already looking for a job.
And so on the street you go, you enter every bar, and you just...
Oxford Street, all the shops.
You go in and you say, hey...
and can I speak to the store manager? Hey, I just arrived, I'm looking for a job, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a job in Abercrombie, but I remember they paid every 2 weeks. So I was like, shit, I need like something
next week.
Quicker. And then I started and I thought, okay, where can I get something instant and cash? And that was in a nightclub as a promoter, just in the street.
Promoter, you need, so you go on the street and you need to say, hey guys,
you bring people, you get £10 per person.
So salesmen on the street.
Exactly.
They're salesmen at the end of the day.
And I also had some tobacco. So do you want to come to the nightclub? No, thank you. Do you want
tobacco?
Cheaper tobacco from Canary Islands? And they were, maybe yes. maybe yes, 6 pounds instead of 10 in the
it's better.
store. Yeah. So.
And so you stay there 1 year ish.
Yep. Yeah.
Why do you leave?
Where?
Why do you go back to Madrid?
No, I went back to Tenerife because
Tenerife
my girlfriend at that time, I was so busy, she broke up with me and I came back to recover her.
So because during that time you left a girlfriend. Did you see her during 1 year and a half?
Once.
Okay, that makes sense that she broke up.
Yeah,
can make sense.
And I was also so busy working all day that I wasn't even texting that much, and
And you didn't do any misstep during the 1 year and a half?
No.
Right. Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, that's. All right. So you came back. She said no because you were. So you came back, but then you came back to stay in Tenerife. You left London.
I mean,
her.
After all the fucking pain in London, I ended up in a good situation. I was making like 3.2K in this startup as a commercial.
Nice.
Yeah, it was okay. Like I was keeping the job in the nightclub, which I had a higher position.
So you were doing both day and night?
Yeah, and I was like a man. Yeah, but the club only opened like 3 days a week. So
Friday,
and during the
Thursday,
weekend,
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, and during the weekends I wasn't working in the startup.
No, but I was doing the same, so I see perfectly. But still, it messes up your brain when you go back at 8 a.m. and you need on Monday to go to the company. Then you're kind of jet lagged. It's still tricky.
Yeah, a bit, but I had like my own team of promoters, and I was like, I could basically at the very end, I could just go until midnight to the club, and everything was set, and I was like making a commission out of their commissions, and I was putting them in the university.
Managing, make money like this, and not by doing yourself the work.
Exactly.
For sure.
So I could do almost everything with my phone from my room, so it was pretty comfortable. And that time, and when I had all this set up and I was feeling comfortable making money, then she said like I remember being on the phone in a conversation at 2 a.m. and she broke up with me. I say fuck it. I bought a plane for 6 a.m. That same like 4 hours later, I disappeared. I didn't.
You didn't say nothing to anyone. It disappeared.
I disappeared. I mean, I sent an email. I called Martin, who was my manager in AKKA in the startup, and I said, "I'm leaving. Yeah, that's it. I'm leaving." And I just left and never came back to London.
But did she get you back?
Yeah.
So it worked
for a couple of
months.
For
a few weeks.
For 2 months.
Did you regret that decision, or it was a good move?
No, it was. Yeah, I don't regret anything.
Because you're at the point where you were finally making some good money, actually.
Yeah.
Because the 3.2K plus whatever else.
I could be making like
a good
5K,
money. At 20 years old-ish. Good money. You go back to Tenerife. You have no money then over there. And actually you have no activity.
Yeah.
So you saved a bit, that's it. You stay for 2 months. She says no. And back to zero. Back to square one, as we say.
Yeah, and then I moved to LA.
Then you decided to go to LA for whatever same reason. Let's see what's up over there.
Yeah, studying like a little business course there while trying to do some internships and working a little bit.
So you went back to doing internships, like getting paid $800.
You could. I didn't have the visa to work. I mean, you need to like an sponsorship, but but my intention was to move to LA and then start a business there. Actually, Ice and Dreams, the like this ice cream shop I was going to. I ended up opening in Madrid. I was gonna open it in LA. I even had the venue and everything. And when I was about to sign the contract, like the day before signing the contract for the venue, like my parents called me and said, "Okay, we have something to tell you. We're divorcing, and like now with this information, do whatever you want." But my plans were to stay there. Like
so, for a second time, some kind of relationship or emotional line got you back to Tenerife, or
And then I decided to go back because I'm the oldest of my siblings, and I thought I wanted to be there with my. I didn't know how were they gonna react or if it was going to be an easy situation or a hard one. And I said, okay, I'm coming back. I knew I couldn't go back to the States because like I have like this internship visa where then you can use it to like open a business and get like like a new visa. I could do it when I was there, but I knew that if I go back to Spain, I cannot come back until I mean now you can go back with like $500,000 of investment or something like that,
exactly.
like the investor visa. And yeah, then I was in Tenerife like for 4 months, but after being in London and in LA, you feel a bit trapped. So I say, okay, I cannot stay here forever.
I'm interested in 1 minute on how do you go to LA with nothing. So you just answered one question I had, like with an internship visa, you can start a business.
No, with a student visa.
With a student
and then
visa,
I was doing some internships as well.
You can start a business if you have a student visa.
No,
how do you go from because you're having visas in the US?
I had like a 2-year visa where I could do that business there, and
okay,
I don't remember the details, but
okay, but where you had a visa, you could do it.
I could do it,
and because that's difficult to start something in another country. Usually, like it's kind of scary. So, what's the process? You were like, I want to open something. You went on Google. You try to understand what is it you need to do to open some. What's the process to start a retail company?
I'm very impulsive. So if I had an idea, I just want to do it and find a way. And maybe I was told maybe then you have to leave the country and come back every 3 months. But I said, okay, I have a year and a half. This is going to be successful. I was pretty convinced, and I still feel like that would be.
So you were shy as a child, not as a teenager, but at least as a child. But were very confident
as a teenager as well. I was very shy until London. In London, I became like the opposite. Like I was like selling people, like knocking on this nightclub, for example, my third night in London, and trying to convince William C. William was his name, was a black guy with a red leather jacket with a huge thing on the red hair, like crazy guy. And I was like trying to convince him, and I was like I became like a salesperson, like trying to sell myself out of necessity. So that's why that's why London changed my life forever. Not La Pollería, not all the business, not the podcast, but for me it was London, like the point of my life which actually made a huge difference there.
Did you become confident at that time, or just not shy?
No.
Or were you already confident? Like, did you have something first in your mind that not everyone has, obviously, like confidence? Did you build it?
Extremely confident.
You're extremely confident.
Yeah,
but you were like that too before?
Since I was a kid.
Okay.
I mean, once I talked to a psychologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he told me that I have like basically he said you have like a natural talent of PNL. It's like I don't know how to say it in English, but it's actually the
I think
the skill or the ability to talk to yourself and like convinced that you're
doing the right thing.
Yeah, that you can be whatever you want to be, basically. So I always have like these mental mechanisms that I feel that have protect me like during all my journey. Like for example, I remember very clearly. Like as I said before, my father is German, very
German style.
Yeah, very cold, right? Mm-hmm. So I used to.
Not every German is cold, but I get what you mean when you say that. Yes.
And I remember arriving with my grades, like when I was very little, and with my grades, like with good grades, right? Like maybe like 9, 10, 8, 7, whatever. And giving my grades to the grades paper to him, and he would just check them out and say,
okay, so no bravo.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So and I perfectly remember my mindset there. And it wasn't like, okay, he's not valuing my work. I can do, there's nothing I can do to make him proud. No, my way of thinking, being a kid, was, okay, he already expected it from me because he trusts me.
Which is probably true.
I don't know.
Never asked? Because now you can ask, you're old enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's just his way, but I've seen the same situation in my sister, and it led her to think that she's never gonna make him proud, that he doesn't value her work and her effort. So I think that since I was a kid, I have all these mechanisms and that protect me and a lot of self-confidence.
Does he watch what you do? Does he watch what you do?
Yeah.
So he might watch this.
Well, he doesn't speak English, but
yeah, but it's going to be subtitled.
Yeah, maybe. Well, there's a lot of content up there, so I don't know.
Why don't you ask him?
What? If he's proud?
You don't have the answer to that. No, if he was.
I don't want to know.
Oh, okay. You know
that's like fuel for
because
me.
you want to. I got it.
He never told me that he's proud of myself, and I never asked.
Okay.
But that's like, I wouldn't like him telling me he's proud. I feel like it's like a goal over there that I'm never gonna reach.
And so it
Or maybe yes, but it's like
to...
fuel, constant fuel. I know. At the end of the day, he should be proud. Like,
should be.
Yeah, like I have his friends asking me for send a video to their sons, right?
Should be. Yeah.
I guess he would be, but I don't want to know. Like I've been chasing that goal my whole life, and it's like fuel to me. So I don't want to.
And on the
keep it.
On the mother side,
opposite.
Like as well, the same thing. Like she's at the opposite, completely saying you're insane at everything, even if you're doing something shitty.
It's so much that you don't even value it.
But I get what you mean. It's like, it's not true anyway, because everything you do is going to be great or whatever.
It's like in a relationship, if your girlfriend say, I love you every call,
you're
every
beautiful,
text,
you're so handsome, then you know it's not really true.
Then you don't really care that much. But for example, myself in a relationship, I don't say I love you that often, but when you say it, it's like something powerful. So my mom is like the kind of, oh, I'm so proud, I'm so cool, so nice.
Mm-hmm. Need both, huh?
Yeah.
All right. And so, you're 21, I would say. You go back to Tenerife.
Yeah.
You go to LA. You stay there 9 months.
A year and something.
A year. You go back to Tenerife for your parents' situation. Exactly. You stay a few months.
3-4
and then you say,
months.
fuck it, I go to Madrid.
Yeah, I said, okay, I want to leave Tenerife because it's a very small place, same people, same situations, like nothing changes actually. Sometimes I spend like a whole year outside, I come back and it's like time didn't go through Tenerife. Like people are doing same things, everything is the same.
It's
like,
a village.
Nothing changes.
Village mentality.
Exactly, nothing changes. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna go to Brazil or Singapore, but I'm gonna stay in Madrid. And I said, okay, Madrid or Barcelona. And I flipped that coin. I had never visited like Madrid or Barcelona.
For real? You flipped it?
I flipped it.
Okay.
I say Madrid, I flipped it.
Because one has a beach and the other one doesn't have a beach. So when you come from Tenerife, you might think, no, okay.
Yeah.
But and it landed on
Madrid. Yeah. And I went there like 3 days after I was moving to Madrid.
Again in 3 days. Are you really impulsive?
Yeah, very, very. And I had this idea that I wanted to open in LA. Like this ice cream shop, but I was pretty convinced that it was gonna work. Like it was very trendy, very like foodie, which right now is like an obvious topic, like this foodie trend. But at the moment, I remember like delivering food in London and seeing like a lot of Instagram girls like queuing outside like a pink
just design
something just to take pictures for Pinterest, for Instagram. And I thought, okay, I mean, they sell more expensive
because it's pink.
Exactly. They have just one product. They have a lot of rotation. This is it's good business. It's easy to open. No? So I had this idea with the ice cream, with the cotton candy around them. It was super beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So I was pretty convinced, and I was thinking like LA is the nice place because it's warmer and everything. And in Madrid, I say, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it here. It's freezing half of the year, but still, let's do it.
How much money do you have in your pocket when you go to Madrid?
Maybe 9K, I would say.
So you take the plane, you have 9K. All right. Yeah, you land, you go
like
to some hotel room at 50 bucks.
I sold a motorbike as well. Maybe like around 10K.
Whatever, 10K. You go there, you take your same room worth 50 euros a night.
Yeah.
Because I guess you didn't come back.
I remember that place. I was like, I rented a room from in the outside part of Madrid from. There was a Peruvian family. Oh my God, they were so crazy.
Inside the house? Like you take a bedroom?
I had a bedroom inside their
family
house. There were bugs in the...
nice.
And they were so crazy. Like once you're in your bedroom and it starts smelling like weed, then somebody like playing in some kind of flauta, like a crazy place, like really crazy place. And also the arguments, it was so crazy.
Plus it was outside of London. Of Madrid. So you need to take the subway for a long time. So how long you stay there?
Yeah, 4 months.
Wow, it's a long time for a month. Well, I mean, it's not so short.
I was all day outside, like building the shop. Like I did the whole thing myself. It was pretty wacky, but...
So it took you like a few weeks to find the location, sign something, and then start.
Exactly.
How do you finance 10K? How do you finance the building of a design with nothing?
What do you mean? I mean, I did
so
it myself, like the whole.
Oh, you knew how to do that, or you learned?
YouTube video. So.
Okay, so YouTube video, you learned how to paint and to
exactly,
move things around and build them.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it was so wacky, the business at the beginning, but it worked because the product was pretty
fun.
nice. You just need like a soft serve machine and some cotton candy and some toppings, so it was pretty easy.
But that cost a bit, no? The machine, the painting.
Yeah, but not that much. Like
enough with 10K.
Case. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. And then the thing is that all the money I was making out of the ice cream shop, which was running well, not comparable to La Pollería success, but was doing well. Like we have some good line during the Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday. During the weekdays, a little bit less, but it was going okay. But the business was so wacky at the beginning that all the money I was making, I was putting it back into the business.
Of course.
Everything. I didn't even have air conditioning. So you make 2K profit, air conditioning. Then you buy a waffle machine. You buy to make some popcorn to improve the lighting.
Yeah.
So when I had the La Pollería idea, and I basically built the first shop, I'm very impulsive. So I said, I had the idea. I wanna make it happen now. So it was like a super small venue. I have the videos, like building it myself. That was with 900 euros, La Pollería. No license.
With 900 euros
no permit. Like it was basically like trastero. I don't know how to say it.
Trastero. No, I don't know what it is. But
yeah, like a little room where you save your old mattress and your
okay, I see what it is now. Yeah.
In a super small
street
in Chueca. It was so wacky. That was. I thought at the beginning. I mean, I didn't have any license, anything. So
you had the right to do it, or without license,
no.
Oh, it was okay.
It's like if we take some little room there and we open a business, it didn't even have La Pollería outside. Like it was like just a door, like a little door. We were there for 3 weeks.
Yeah, fake it until you make it, huh?
Oof. But I remember that period of we didn't even have like to clean the thing, so I had to take the whole equipment to my house and clean it in the shower and bring it back the next day. It was like a pretty crazy time, and for 3 weeks while we were staying there, and like we had 3 hour line outside the venue. So I was like, okay, I'm going to jail, basically. And
yeah, it could have been. And the police, what the fuck is this? And
yes.
But they never came.
And no.
That's an issue, though.
And also, we were not registered as a business anywhere. So
the money was just like black money? I mean, there's no...
No, as a...
you had the freelancer...
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, so I was putting in myself, which is even worse, because you're responsible for everything, right? So, and also like the closing hours, like all the businesses were closed in the streets around it, but we have like a 2-hour line at midnight still. So you basically stay open until you run out of people. So we were closing at like at 3 a.m. every day, or like 2:30.
The first week, like very quickly.
Third day, 3 hour.
On the third day.
On the third day, it was
with an illegal business on the streets for everyone to see.
And it was all over TV. It was like
without any license.
Exactly. So yeah, like we were making a lot of money, but I was feeling like super anxious about the situation.
Yes, makes sense.
I was handling well, but like you working all day long, you have no time to look for another venue. You're just like
giving ice creams.
Exactly, to the people, waffles,
waffles. Yeah.
And then one day I remember I was with him actually in the shop, and I was super saturated, and I just say, okay, stay here, keep selling, and I just walked outside. And walk through the streets of Chueca, and I say, okay, we need a new venue, like a proper venue. So I thought there was a little natural smoothie juice shop, and I just came inside. I say, okay, let me talk. I talked to the employee, and I say, please let me talk to the owner of the shop. She gave me the number. I call him. I say, hey man, I walk outside here every day. You are not even selling. I want this venue. How much to close your business tomorrow? And he said yes. He said 45K.
45. I said that's a lot, huh?
I said 35 and we signed tomorrow. It was 35K.
But you had made 35K already with the first
Like we were making like
of pure cash, by the way.
6K a day, maybe something like that. Then we could scale it in the prime time of La Pollería until 9K a day. Like we were selling like every 15 seconds you sell a waffle, and the line was just endless. Like I was like, where do all these people come from? Where, like how? How? It was so crazy. But at the beginning we didn't have
just to eat
exactly.
Dicks.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, but at the beginning we didn't have that many machines. We were opening until forever, but it wasn't that quick, right?
Nice ROI, yeah, as we say.
Yeah.
You spend 3-4K on a machine and gets 5-6K a day.
No, it was crazy.
So reimbursed in one day is good.
Yeah, and the machines are
good investment.
300 for the machines.
300 for the machine. Very good investment.
Yeah, it's just a fucking waffle maker. It's so cheap.
Nice.
Yeah, right. That was a crazy time, and then COVID arrived.
I felt it too.
4 months later, and it was a really
just 4 months after the first one.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
Yeah, but I felt relieved because then I could this smoothie shop, like we took it as it was, and we were suddenly selling the big waffles there. Like it was almost the same. We painted outside La Pollería. It was all handmade, and then when COVID arrived, we made it like a proper franchise.
You had some time
brand. Yeah, exactly. And then we did the franchise thing as well, like to develop all the contracts and everything. And also what was actually a good opportunity because I wanted to open shops all over Spain before people start copying the concept.
True.
And I remember like a week before COVID, I started traveling because I had already some employees. It was working.
But were you legal at the time?
Me.
At which point did you start to be legal?
Yeah.
With an entity?
When we changed to the other
venue. You really filed something officially and you put the 2 shops into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, actually. And then I started traveling. I remember I went to Valencia and Malaga trying to find venues, and it's impossible to find a venue in a prime location. So when the COVID arrived, I was renting the best locations in Spain, and you had many venues to choose because business were failing, and you were like, okay, I want this venue right here in the main street
How did you pay?
With the money of the shops. We were making like 100K a month during those 4 months.
But it cost how much in Spain if you want to, I don't know, get a new shop, you need to pay some stuff, no?
To set up a shop.
There's a setup, and then there is I don't know the term in English or in Spanish, by the way. So, but you need to pay something to the renter, the guy being there already.
No, they were leaving because their
businesses... So you paid zero to take over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their businesses were failing. Because of COVID, they were running away.
So the landlord was just happy to just get a new guy to pay the rent?
Of course.
For free. For free.
And they even give you some months of not
franchise
paying,
or whatever you call it.
Exactly, not paying any rent or anything because
they
were happy to have somebody. And we started opening shops like crazy because I had to spend around between 12 and 16 to open a new shop, and your record of revenue was actually the first weekend you open, so you were making the money back in a week.
I like the ROI.
Yeah. So in a week, 2 weeks, it depends on the city, but it was pretty quick. So
usually it's more like 7 years.
Exactly.
2 weeks is okay.
Yeah. So then you just open stores everywhere, and you say, okay, if maybe it's just the novelty, and then after 2 or 3 months it fades away, I don't care. I made my money back,
of course,
and the shop is closed. So we opened 22 shops, and nowadays we keep 2. That was why we make the money, then we wait until it. Sometimes it
flattens out.
It flattens in a profitable way, and sometimes it's just like the craziness of all the media, all the influencers of this little town coming to your shop, and then it fades away. But we didn't lose money in a single shop because it was madness at the beginning in every city. Like people were waiting for La Pollería to arrive.
It's a good story, yeah.
So crazy.
How long did it last?
2 years.
2 years, right? And you went back to 2 shops, like 2 main shops that just make money. That's it. That you still have actually, and just make money, and that's it.
Yeah, but because for example, the Madrid shop, which was the first one actually in the gay neighborhood and everything, is like an icon for the city right now. I mean, if you go to Paris, you eat a croissant. If you go to Chueca, you eat pollo fre. Like
pollo fre, se llama?
Pollo fre.
Pollo fre.
Yeah.
All right.
So everybody goes there. Like even the tourist buses stop there and talk about the business, and they just. I mean, you get a lot of tourism, a lot right now.
And you've been copied everywhere in the world, huh?
Everywhere.
That's one of the few concepts, like not so many, in so little time.
It was
that was copied. Like you go in every big city in the world, you have one like this now. It's insane.
I found like 3 different ones in the Philippines, and I was like, okay, what?
In Philippines, it's insane.
In the Philippines,
and there was no way to patent it.
Impossible.
Because there's no innovation of a service or whatever, no, of design or something.
I asked some lawyers and they told me this is what you're trying to do is basically like trying to patent like a dish from a chef. You can like
you can't
a
patent.
Tortilla filled with cheese.
Well, you've seen some stories where I don't know what's the name of the brand of shoes where the heel is in red.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, whatever. And he managed to. So he was just painting. He's still. I mean, it's a big brand. Huh? Painting it's for girls. I forgot the name. Whatever. Not it's so. What? Prada? No, not Prada. The name of it.
It's the Alexander something.
No, Alexander McQueen. No, not this one. What the fuck is that? It's super famous anyway. And so every girl in the world was, or is still, by the way, fighting for it. And every time you see a red heel, it's from that brand. And so other brands started to do that and saying, "Well, what the fuck? We can't paint the heels in red." And they, quite sure about it, they won the legal suit on this part because they were like, it's a part of our brain, it's something we really created, and now you can't really, it's almost like using our, my point is, I know it's not something you can patent, right? It's not an innovation or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I actually,
Louis Moutin. You don't know Louis Moutin? No, not Louis Vuitton, Louis Moutin. Louis Vuitton.
No idea.
Anyway, it got a big brand.
But anyway, I thought the concept was something that was gonna last like a year and a half, 2 years.
Maximum, yeah. But it still lasts?
Yeah, still lasts, but in
big cities and
in the right locations and everything. But like the legal system in Spain is so slow that we even have had a company in Spain selling franchises as La Pollería. They copied like the whole thing. Then
you have another company that's not yours.
Yeah, it was.
That is selling the concept, which is the same without having the name.
It was
as a franchise to other people.
An Italian
and you can't do nothing about it. Italian motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he basically he was selling franchises like with La Pollería name. And I was asking to the lawyers, and you're gonna get some results if you do something in 5 years.
He uses the same name.
La Pollería.
Oh, okay.
With a different logo,
and it worked.
He called it La Pollería, and actually I didn't even do anything because it was already like past 1 year and 4 months when he appeared, and I was like, I don't even gonna do anything. I don't want to waste my energy, my time when I'm actually focusing in different things. Now I was starting with the podcast, was going pretty well. I was like, I was really believing in this concept, in this format of driving attention to one place to then build businesses around it. Like I was like, it was a bit on purpose, right? Like the podcast thing, I was like watching celebrities in the US, like the Kardashians building like billion-dollar companies with no business experience or anything.
Just on the brand,
exactly, just because of the attention.
Yes.
Conor McGregor selling his whiskey company and all the actors.
Now Prime is like, I think he made more than $1 billion this year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just putting Prime here and there, and
exactly
what would have taken 12 years if you're good, then like in a year or two or whatever. It's insane.
Exactly.
But the power of the brand now, the personal brand, is insane, huh?
It's super crazy.
Yeah,
it's super crazy. Yeah, and also like this thing about building businesses around it and driving the attention to them is super powerful because it's not. I mean, you can pay for the same amount of views, for example, but it's not the same when it's like somebody you trust and you feel like you know them, like showing you their product, that when it's an ad. for example. So,
Yeah.
I mean, my personal brand grew like super quick.
So when did you start? Just so we have the right.
I started
timeline.
with the podcast first.
When was that?
A year and 5 months ago.
That's it.
Yeah.
18 months ago.
Exactly. It was and it was super quick. Like since the very beginning, it was getting a lot of views.
Do you know
like
why? On what? On Spotify? On what? On YouTube? Spotify?
YouTube.
You started on YouTube plus Spotify, I guess, because why not?
Yeah, of course.
And do you know why it worked?
I think it was because of the strategy of
Because?
the like. I mean, I was looking at the social media environment, and during the pandemic, during COVID, I was always super social media focused, like business wise. Like all the companies I built before, like they wouldn't even exist without the social media. Like La Pollería, it's a social media business. It's not like a food business. The ice cream shop was a social media business. Like every single client was coming in, taking pictures, sharing it with their users or the people they know, and making like free publicity for me.
Yes.
So I was always really focused on the algorithms and the social media game. And during the pandemic, I felt how TikTok changed the whole game. I mean, like Instagram suddenly and YouTube, they were copying TikTok because they were getting all the users to their platform. They were growing so fast, and I said, okay, the way to go is the vertical content, which is pretty obvious now.
But it's not for YouTube. But that's not for YouTube.
No, but the thing is like, okay, I need to make you feel curious about the podcast. So once you have seen like 10 clips of the podcast, maybe
of course,
or you've seen me like, if I just upload it in YouTube, you're not gonna find me.
Of course not,
because you're in TikTok.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then if you see clips of my podcast like 100 times, at some point you're gonna go and watch a whole podcast. So
that sounds very obvious.
Yeah, but at the beginning, exactly. But at the beginning, we were almost the only ones making clips in Spain. Like we were literally like people were opening TikTok, and I told my team like I want like from 3 to 5 clips daily out of every podcast. So we were
on
making
TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts.
On a page dedicated to the podcast, not on your page.
No, on a page dedicated to the podcast, and it started working super well. We were making like 600K per clip, and then driving that traffic to YouTube, which is the important part. Because when somebody stopped me in the street and, Pedro, can I take a picture with you? It's not because you watch like 100 clips in TikTok. It's because you spend hours with me in the car, at the gym. When you go for a walk with your dog, you feel like my friend now because we make a relationship in a 2-hour podcast, right?
Yeah.
So that's but I knew like the key was in the vertical content, and I was always pretty focused. Also at the beginning of I don't do it anymore now because
do what?
Like to drop the hooks during the podcast. So at the beginning, like during the first 40 podcasts, for example, while I was having the conversation, I was trying to drop the first 2 seconds that are gonna make people stop scrolling.
Like the right question or the right thing that is a bit has an impact.
For example, imagine you tell me your business story during 10 minutes.
Yes.
And for me, that's not good enough because I don't have a clip. So maybe I would say, okay, Thomas, so you build a $100 billion company in just 1 year, blah, blah, blah. And then people heard you build 100 billion, but they stop and watch.
And then you rewind, and you go back to the answer, which lasts 2 minutes or whatever.
Exactly. And then I was trying to prepare the clips for my editors, and they were like laughing, like, bro, now that we get you,
understand what you were saying.
We get it. It's so obvious how you drop the clips for us here, no? Like, and
so you said 15 months ago.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
it's quite amazing.
Year and a half.
It's quite super amazing.
Yeah, it was super quick. And then, but first was a podcast, and there was my personal brand. So I was looking at the podcast working so well and growing a lot, and I said I can do this myself. Why not?
Do what yourself?
Yeah, doing clips like personal.
Of you, just you doing stuff or saying stuff.
Yeah, because during that time I had like a private profile, like 2K followers. That's it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna start. I'm gonna do some clips, and I started with my personal brand, and that was explosive. Like I in the first 3 weeks, I went up to 150K.
Where did the traffic come from? YouTube?
No.
Just the reels themselves that were working?
Yeah, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I was just building the audience on Instagram, like doing some reels, and it was all viral.
But that's very difficult to do. So how do you do that? Because normally you put a reel, you have like a 90-second shot of whatever topic you want to talk about, and then you have 300 views and that's it.
Yeah, but my reels work because people share them.
Yes, but
in
why?
The stories.
Do you know why?
I knew what to
say. Yeah, you feel what to say.
Yeah, and also right now, like before uploading a reel, I can estimate the views it's gonna have, and I don't usually make mistakes like when forecasting. Okay, this is at 2 million views.
So you were trying to do stuff that are a bit shocking, that kind of thing, or that?
I mean, I've in my mind I have like a list of mental triggers. People like different triggers that make people react. So, for example, one could be a pretty obvious one. Could be a common enemy, right? So when you have, it doesn't mean that it's not real. But
it's true. But you talk about it.
Yeah, when I talk about something that is, I know it's a common enemy that unites me and my community. That's powerful. Yes, this message resonates with them, and they are gonna share it in their stories.
Okay, but at the beginning you have 2,000 followers, so you have no community apart from your dog and your friends.
Exactly.
Right. So when you share a reel, there's no one to watch you. So I think what happens?
The algorithm pushes
because it worked with the first few hundred. Well, I know how it works. But I must say the growth was.
Yeah.
And so, we met, by the way, kind of at the time, huh? Where you were just starting to grow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Your first month or two. Huh?
Exactly.
That's very early.
Exactly. Yeah. Very early.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, it was one of the first opportunities, like knocking the door, right? So actually, the algorithm works. They show it to the 10% of your audience, and if they react well, then they show it like.
It's just that 10% of 2,000 is 200. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so but if they like and comment, or maybe they share because they like your message, then people start seeing your face everywhere because they have the podcast clips and they know. Then they see a clip of yourself alone, but they know you're the guy from the podcast, so maybe they pay more attention because they like the podcast. So
there's
like a synergy. Yeah.
How do you do 15 months afterwards? Because since then in Spain, 2 million people started to do short clip with vertical framing.
Exactly.
How do you do to keep growing?
It's hard.
Do you have a new strategy? Something.
I mean, with the podcast, I'm just doing the same thing because I think people like what we do. So we don't want to change the format or invent anything new. Just, I mean, right now it's easier because everybody wants to come to the podcast because it's so popular. So for us, I mean, we can reach like new, very interesting people that would be a no at the beginning at the first 3 months. So it's working well. I think it's gonna work forever, the podcast format, because it's something that is inside the human being to be able to put your ear in another conversation. So I don't think it should necessarily like be a trend and fade away. And with my personal brand, I'm constantly trying to find like new ways and new formats because it's so crowded right now. Like there are so many people doing. It's like the new trend to have a personal brand about mindset, personal development, and entrepreneurship without having any actual companies or any actual projects.
That's completely fake.
Yeah. So when you talk about it, you are getting in that same group. And I want to
of kind of fake guys.
Exactly.
You could, of course.
I agree. Like if you get 10 clips of 17-year-old guys giving you ChatGPT tips on,
and you do the same, and you look as fake as him.
Exactly.
Agreed.
And you lose authority. So I'm trying to find new ways that feel different to the people. So right now I'm trying to build a team around me that comes with me everywhere. So if I have a business lunch, for example, I want that content to be recorded because it's actually valuable. Like
looks real.
You have lunch with rich people talk about money. So that's a valuable conversation. And that's something that cannot be imitated easily by a 17-year-old guy with ChatGPT. So, but it's more work. It's not the same sitting in front of the camera.
Strategize, and start strategizing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different, but
and you want it to keep growing for 10 years.
Works. Yeah,
I presume.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. You feel it seems like everything you touched so far has been working. From being a salesman at 20 years old to doing some work on the street on the street for a club to la Pollería, ice cream, and why AKKA? So I met you again something like 13 months ago, I would say. We discussed. I mean, we had something going like very quickly.
Exactly.
Like kind of a fit or whatever you can call it, love at first sight.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go into investments? Because you've been big in entrepreneurship, right? Because even doing a podcast is purely purely. Going to investment and founding AKKA, which is the new name of Blast, is completely entrepreneurship. Because it's literally had €0 of money, whatsoever 1 year ago, but dedicated to investment.
Yeah.
Why did you say yes? I'm asking the honest question because I don't think I even asked it to you once. I don't know. I don't remember. Why did you say yes and why? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, since the beginning, since the first time we talked, I felt like it was a very powerful concept to lever communities, like to lever audience and to. Because you're able to educate them, and I think in Spain the culture about around investment is there's none. Like people don't invest; they are taught to save since they are in all over in school, high school, university. All you learn is that you have to save. And also, I really like the concept you told me about democratizing, which is a word that is a bit burned right now.
It's used for everything.
Exactly.
I don't like this word actually, but there's sometimes not the other ways to say talk about it.
Yeah, but it made a lot of sense. Like if you see like the returns, the average returns in the different industries, like most of the people are consuming content about real estate. So I didn't want to get into there's a lot of bullshit about real estate, about the stock market, like crypto, like a lot of people selling courses, and this felt when you told me the idea, it felt fresh. It also built a lot of confidence from my side to see with my eyes how was it working in France. And how like to put my head inside the club and see how the community side that is not just the investment opportunities, but also like a club for people to network, to go to events, to have their academy and evolve as investors, right? And the concept was pretty fresh. I'm a guy who loves like blue oceans. Everything I do is always different. Right now I'm with the drink, the hard seltzer brand. Exactly. I could go into beer, but I want to go to something like risky or something that is not everybody else is doing. And this was exactly this concept for me. Like investment clubs in Spain are almost non-existent. I'm sure there are some for real estate and for other
there's a lot of clubs for everything. If you want, I think, to be in a club that buys lamps or plants. I'm sure you have clubs to buy plants.
For sure.
Now it's very small, like usually it's 30 to 50 people. So you have some clubs with business angels, I think we met a few together, but with 30, 50 people, but not to that scale. It's the first, but in the world actually. Yeah? Exactly. It's the first in the world. Like first in France and Spain, and we're opening new countries,
Exactly.
But we're not going to talk about it.
And I also felt that I'm in the right position for this because I have the attention of people during hours. It's not just you go viral with some short clips, but I felt like for AKKA, you need to educate people. You need to you need to grab their attention for a long period of time so they can understand the logic and how it works behind the club, right? Well, what's happening inside, how is the investment process, what does you have to educate them from the beginning. Like most of the people, if you ask in the street, they don't know what to exit a company is.
Of course.
Exactly.
It's a very niche
topic.
It's the most profitable topic. Statistically, obviously, you can lose money, obviously, but actually, it's the most profitable. But yeah, it was kept only for people with money.
And it's also fun. I mean, like.
Do you like it, the investor side?
Yeah, sure. I really like meeting different founders. Like you're always dealing with exciting projects. It's not like somebody who picks up a company that picks up trash. Is like robotics, 3D printing, SaaS businesses, apps. So it's like businesses that resonate with how do you picture the world in the future, and that if they are successful, they sometimes change the future, right? They are building the future.
Pedro, need to finish this moment together. I have one last question.
Sure.
Do you ever thought about at some point launching yourself into politics?
Never ever.
Never ever? Because you've been very vocal about it.
I have many opportunities.
Topics, actually. You have already?
Yeah.
Are people
they reach me.
They reach out to you.
And they want me to be involved, but I don't want to at all.
Forever? Careful, they say it's on the clip.
I would say forever.
Why not?
Never say never, but I think it's not for me, because I've talked to some politicians and I say, okay, there's not that much money in politics.
There's none.
Yeah.
No, but people sometimes don't understand that. I mean, there's
you can.
Now there is ton. I mean, depend what you call money actually. But even as a congressman, obviously compared to the average salary of a citizen, you're overpaid if you say it that way.
Sure.
But that's not at all how you get rich. You're going to get a few thousands per month, but that's it.
Exactly.
You can't say you're not choosing this path for money. It's not true.
I mean, my opportunity cost being a politician is so high. Like I could be building businesses. Like now I'm in the easiest position to build businesses in my life. Right now I have the contacts. I have some experience, some people who would love to be my mentor or something.
Work with you.
So being a politician would be refusing to all of that. And I say, for what?
Power. Because power of change, not power of just being mean with some people. It's just power of change versus money. So it's kind of a trade, no?
Yeah, but I don't really care about the power, because I asked some politicians, like, why do you do it? And this guy told me, power makes me horny. That's it. It doesn't happen to me. I don't care. I know I have a lot of power now with the podcast, because I have. This is something
influence.
Yeah, but it's pretty weird, because I feel like people delegate their opinions on mine. Because if they listen to you for long periods of time and they think they know your way of thinking, they think you're smart, they think you don't speak if you don't know what you're talking about, then somehow they delegate their way of thinking in yours. And if you say, okay, I think that bulls in Spain should be whatever, they don't try to put you against the ropes. They just say, I think so too, and that's it. And that's
power.
Influence. It's power of influence, but it doesn't make me feel anything. Like I don't feel like I can manage the way of thinking of many people. I don't care. Like
I'm asking that because most of the time people don't go there because they don't want haters, because whatever camp your side you're choosing, you have like 50% of the country that hates
100%.
you, right? Sometimes 75%.
Exactly.
All right. Let's say 50% of voters and 75% of the country. And so they don't want that because they want to have a peaceful life. It's quite a sacrifice to go to politics, whether you're left or right, whatever, it's sacrifice. You are quite already saying stuff online that gets you quite some haters.
I have many haters.
A lot of them. And so I was like, once you're already there, go all the way. But you don't want.
Yeah, but I couldn't care less about the haters, because Spain in terms of mindset is, I mean, if you become rich in Spain, you have to be like, sorry I became rich. This is something bad.
Yeah.
And you're like the villain of the movie. So if I don't agree with that mindset and somebody's hating that way, or they wanna have like a mediocrity, yeah.
Mediocrity?
Yeah, like they want to be able to live without effort or without hard work. And it's like all these movements in Spain which are so popular, like body positive. Okay, no, don't work out. It doesn't matter. These are gym bros. These don't listen to them and be happy with your body. So if you talk against that and say, okay, I believe in the hard work in business, in fitness, to take care of your relationships in all realms of your life, and you're gonna have haters, but what do I do? I don't care.
Do you consider yourself right wing?
No, I don't.
Center? You don't? That's a real question. You don't? Yeah.
No.
Because people will think sometimes you're either far right wing.
Yeah.
Some of them. I can read that on the comments.
I'm pro common sense.
You're pro common sense.
And in Spain, I find more common sense in the right wing dialogue than in the left wing, because I see so much nonsense. But I would never buy like a mindset package, like a package of thinking, like in
tag.
Like in Spain, if you're right wing, you have to like bulls. I don't like bulls. You have to like the monarchy. I don't have information enough to have an opinion on that. You have to be against taxes. I think taxes. I'm not against taxes, but I think they are taxing too much, and people, like talented people, live in the country, and companies are leaving the country, which is bad for us. But it's like you have to buy the whole package, and I like some things from the different parties. And
so you consider yourself kind of center, but with the choice of.
Also, I don't spend time consuming politics information. I just sometimes something goes viral because somebody talked some nonsense, and
you want to reply and give your opinion.
I don't even vote or anything.
But it brings you haters. So why do you do it? It's just because you like to create interaction, or because you're really too much fed up with what you're hearing that you want to talk about it?
I mean, it works.
So there's both. Like you're interested into the topics, plus it creates interaction and comment and stuff. You're like, no, fuck it, I go for it.
Yeah, I mean, when you get your taxes every 3 months and you see your bank account, you are angry, and then,
I feel you.
And then you can make a video out of it.
Yeah,
and it works, and people feel like in the same battle with you. So that makes people feel like a community, like a more solid community. But it's not that I'm just doing it for the video. Like I feel it, but I also know it works, so I do it. Like,
you don't feel shy at all anymore?
No, not really.
Over?
Yeah, I think I'm a listener, but I don't feel shy at any environment. I mean, I know when to listen and when to speak, but I don't feel. I mean, I think a shy person is somebody who feels uncomfortable when he has to talk. I'm not like a super talker, but it's not a shy feeling.
Yeah.
It's not like when I was a kid or a teenager.
Hello.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you very much.